Well, hello, and welcome back to part 3 of War of the Waleses. Again, if you have not watched this series, there is a playlist up on my page now. Encourage you to go watch parts 1 and 2, and then, of course, come back for part 3. Disclaimer, as with the first 2 parts, what I am taking is the alleged rumor that William is having an affair with Rose Hanbury, Marchioness of Cholmondeley. However, instead of just giving my opinion on it, I am taking it from the angle that it is true and what that would look like for the monarchy, the Waleses, other members of the royal family, and the press relations with everybody. On this video, we're going to talk about what this would look like for other members of the royal family, as well as the Sussexes. Let's get started. The cheekbones are cheeking. All right, so 20 plus years later, the British media, the world pretty much, still vested in this love triangle between Diana, Camilla, and Charles. I cannot tell you how many documentaries and interviews and videos and articles are written about this whole situation, even until today. Now, the question is, of course, how would this look for William and Catherine? Well, it's not going to be the same as Charles and Diana and Camilla. One, Rose Hanbury is still alive at present. Nor is she as beloved as the late Princess of Wales. So obviously the impact of William having an affair with Rose is not going to be as significant as Charles's situation with Diana and Camilla. I mean, if you look at the two of them, obviously a lot of the time people tend to talk about how beautiful and pretty that Diana was in comparison to Camilla. Rose, yes, is a pretty girl. She is not, in my opinion, on the same level as Kate. And the media is going to eat that up. What we're going to see is the media is going to put Kate on a higher pedestal, as they normally do. And instead of scrutinizing the Prince of Wales, all of the focus, or majority of the focus, is going to go to the Marchioness of Cholmondeley. She will be deemed the homewrecker. And they will essentially place blame on her. Thus, with the invisible contract they have with the palace, are not necessarily placing William in the line of being blamed. So I hope you see where I'm going with this. With that said, that's going to piss off Charles privately because of all the scrutiny he and Camilla, or the Queen Consort, received during their whole ordeal. But again, their situation ended with the death of a former spouse, a beloved former spouse. Now, will all this press around William be good press for Charles? Absolutely not. And do you want to know why? Because it's the exact or similar situation he and the now Queen are already in, or were in at one point. It's going to drudge up old situations even more. Because what's going to happen is the media is now going to do a side-by-side comparison to Charles and Camilla's situation with William and Rose's. So at this point, the media is going to be vested in that. They can forget about coronation coverage and any other royal engagement that the royal family is doing, because this is going to be hot news. Prince William solidifies significant role as Prince of Wales, follows in father's footsteps. That would literally be the headline. It would be one of, I wouldn't say the story of the century, but again, it would essentially bring bad press to the king and the queen. Similar situation. Now, as far as the Sussexes go, the media in one way, shape, or form is going to include them somehow. What I see, potentially again, is the media trying to extend an olive branch from William to Harry, or Harry to William. Brothers reunite in lieu of royal rift between the Waleses. Again, this is going to paint William in a positive way, and essentially use the Sussexes as that way forward. They're going to discuss how even Meghan reached out to Kate to provide some comfort and oh my gosh, like I could see the headlines now, honestly. But this doesn't mean good press for the Sussexes, though. They haven't had good press. I move on. However, it will take a lot of their negative press and kind of put it to the bottom, because William and Rose having this affair, allegedly, is going to be hot news. especially with it all coming out so close to the coronation, right? We are literally almost a month away. All in all, the news coverage for His Majesty the King and the Queen Consort is going to be nothing but mere comparisons between Charles and William, Camilla and Rose, Kate and Diana. In part 2, I already discussed how Kate is not going to leave William. She is not going to leave her status and all the comforts that the status provides. But the news media could play on the fact that Camilla, former mistress turned queen, and Kate, loving wife, future queen, are no longer seeing eye to eye. Essentially, they will paint Kate as the new Diana 2.0, scorned woman, which is going to be even more bad press for Camilla, obviously. Now, there can be some news outlets, and I highly doubt they would be British tabloids, who will go as far as to say that the Sussexes have the ideal royal relationship, and how Harry would never, and I highly doubt Harry would ever do the same or something similar like that as his father did to his mother, and how Prince William can learn from his younger brother. Again, not British tabloids, probably American and maybe like other countries. This is also going to be very beneficial to the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh. Why? Because they are the only one of the Queen's children to not be divorced. So in the UK, as I said, with the Sussexes outside of the UK, within the UK, the Edinburghs are going to be what's considered the standard of marriage. Happily ever after is for real because we have the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh. Princess Anne, the Princess Royal, would not benefit positively because her and her current husband were canoodling as she was still married. Even though he has pretty much been quiet the entire time he's been married within the royal family. She's not going to necessarily get a pass on that. We're not even going to discuss Andrew. All in all, this is going to be a very devastating blow to the British royal family, yet again. Edward VIII, mistress. Edward VII, mistress. Charles III, mistress. Prince of Wales, Prince William, mistress. It's going to hurt even worse because they're going to start looking at George now and what his future looks like once he gets older. There have been lots of divorces within the British royal family, even for the minor royals and those who don't even have titles. It's going to continually prove the point that this is the family you may not want to marry into, even if they're not titled. Now, for my final part and piece of this series, I do want to discuss the press relations between the royal family and, of course, the tabloids and the media, and what that could potentially look like. However, you scratch my back, I will scratch yours. You guys have really shown so much support for this series, and I am eternally grateful. Again, get this to 20K plus, and the video is yours. And as always, members of the Imperial High Court, like, comment, repost, and thank you. Bye.